Hi, this is Tim Donahue of 8.9 Seconds. Please enjoy Frank Vogel's comments prior to the Denver game on Saturday, February 11th.
Foster's rest and recovery plan, I guess. I went in there and talked to him. He said,
Yeah,
I'm all right. No, coach didn't have it wrong.
He's fine. He's going to be out tonight.
Okay.
They just determined after the game last night that for now we're still trying to bring him back slow, and for now it's best that he doesn't play back to back, so he's not going to be there tonight.
And you've got a back-to-back next week, so what's the plan for that?
We'll see Monday, or Tuesday, whenever it starts. When's it start?
Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday. Yeah.
What's today?
Saturday, I think. Isn't
Great.
it?
Okay, if you say so.
Okay, now this might be statistical aberration or coincidence, but Roy gets named to the All-Star team, goes 1-7. Paul gets named the Rising Stars team, goes like 2 for 17. Any is that coincidence or is that?
I think it's probably a coincidence. Maybe they're trying a little too hard last night, but I didn't really see that, on the court. I just think, Memphis is a really good team, and they got Tony Allen, one of the best defenders in the world, guarding Paul much of the game, and Marc Gasol's a heck of a defender as well. I think it's probably just an aberration.
So now that you have consecutive losses, your first slump of the year.
Wow.
What do you think the mindset is right now? Is there anything out of the ordinary?
Focus on the task at hand. It's the only approach you can have, to get back on the winning track. You've got one game to win, and that's the only thing that matters. Nothing that in the past matters, nothing in the future matters. We got to just focus on the task at hand and try to get a W.
Relatively speaking, it is still a really short stretch. It's not like you've struggled for a long while, but anything you've seen in the last few games when it's not been going well?
Yeah, it's just we're suffering from what most of the league is suffering throughout the whole year. Is the lack of practice time is leading to some slippage and some execution on both ends of the court. Our offensive usage of screens and setting up of screens is not there. Our reads are not as sharp as they need to be, and defensively, our scheme is not as sharp as it needs to be. Our rotations, our pick and roll defense. There's just some slippage that you expect when you don't have any practice time. So we just gotta, we had a good film session in there today. We're gonna try to learn as much as we can from film and talking it out with our walkthrough on the court, and just do our best from there.
What stands out with Denver?
Their transition game, and their unselfishness. They're number one in the league in fast break points per game and in assists. And they play at a frenetic pace. I think they lead the league. Jim Boylan gave me a stat. They lead the league in points scored in the first 9 seconds of the shot clock. And that's what they do. They race it up the court and then they share it. So we've got to make sure that we have fresh legs on the court at all time and really sprint back in transition.
It's not a good time to catch you on a back-to-back.
It's probably not the ideal opponent you want to see on the the fourth night in 5 game or fourth game in 5 nights, but it doesn't matter. We got to win a ball game, so we're not using that as an excuse.
Nothing wrong that making 20 in a row in the third quarter wouldn't cure.
Yeah, that's been the approach all along. Is that when we get to the Denver game, we want to try to just go 20 for 21 in the third quarter, and we feel like if we do that, we'll have a good chance to win.
I think you're right.
Somewhere Josh McBarber's like a shit in the shot.
Anything new on George Hill?
Nope. He's still
No on-court work or anything? No.
They're working with him. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, but they're continuing to treat him every day, and we still don't have a definitive timetable for his return.
David really stepped forward last night with maybe not because Roy was struggling, maybe that was coincidental. Is it either or? Can you get both of those guys kind of going at the same time?
No, you can definitely get them both going at the same time. I think it's just again sort of a coincidence that he was going on a night that Roy wasn't, but I think they're both getting pretty good looks, and Roy's just weren't following David's well.
When you talk about, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
When you talk about West,
Thought you were off. That's okay. That's fine.
When David West, everybody says team player. Are there times you wish that he would be more assertive?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've actually talked to him about it as recently as maybe a half an hour ago. He is. He's look. His greatest strength since he's gotten here is his desire to just fit in. And be a part of this team and do whatever is going to help this team be a team first team. And he's our best ball mover. He's he shares the ball. He's very, very, very unselfish. And I've challenged him to really over the last week or so, but as recently as the film session tonight, to continue to just really look for his offense. And the more aggressive he is, the more defense is going to come to him, and that's just going to free up his passing even more. So.
Is there anything you can take from playing 4 games in 5 like you did last Saturday against Orlando? Is there any adjustments you make? Trying to deal with
understanding that I felt like our guys came out of that game saying, well, we had tired legs and couldn't make shots, and I felt differently. I thought we had enough legs to make shots. I thought we executed poorly in that game, and then the night before in the Dallas game we executed very well, and that was the focus of our film session. And this film session before the game tonight is that we need to just execute. If we execute, we'll get good looks and we'll knock down shots, and fatigue won't be a factor.
When your team misses 10 free throws in a half, what is that? What is that? Is there anything you can say? Anything you do?
That happens to every team in the league at some point. We're one of the best free throw shooting teams in the league, and all you can do is just encourage guys to maintain their focus. Send them out a little bit early at halftime and say, hit the foul line and get a few extra shots up. But that stuff comes around.
What was David's reaction when you told him?
Well, I told him in the
I'm figuring that out.
he nodded his head. I told him in the film session with the team.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a one-on-one situation or anything like that.
Is it more because he felt like he needs to fit in, or is it just,
I think he's just an unselfish player, and I think he learned, when we talk about ball movement, a lot of it initiates with the pick and roll throwback to him, and then he becomes the facilitator and the quarterback. And we've talked a lot this year about how that's when we get our best ball movement in that situation. So I think when he sees that situation, he wants to, lead to that type of teamwork and unselfishness. And I think so. I just think it's, a product of my emphasizing that as good basketball.